All right, welcome to Mansfeld Magnet Middle School. My name is Luke Van Schie, and I'm the proud new principal here at Bulldog Nation. It's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us for our orientation for new students. Over the next few minutes, you're going to learn from our amazing staff and our students what it means to be a Bulldog, and just to help you with becoming familiar with what to expect when you step foot on this campus. Welcome and enjoy. Good morning, Bulldog Nation. It is an absolute privilege and an honor to be able to introduce our fine, amazing assistant principal, Mrs. Sarah Sultan, and she's going to say a few words to say good morning.
Good morning. It is so fabulous to see all of you. Thank you. I know it's standing room only. It's amazing. I love it. Thank you so much for coming. We are so excited to have you as part of Bulldog Nation. Some of you probably know me. I was here last year as an interim. Now I'm official assistant principal. Super excited to work with Mr. Van Schie. We're going to have an absolutely fantastic year. So thank you for being here.
We have an action-packed agenda for today, and we are excited to kick it off. I'm all about student leadership and our students taking initiative and our student leaders making this school the best place to be. And so our student council are going to kick us off with a fantastic fashion show. We are one of the amazing schools that gets to be a uniform school here in Tucson Unified, and so we'll get to see what those uniforms look like in fantastic style as our student council ambassadors and our Jumpstart students give us our fashion show. So let them take it away.
Emma with her navy polo and a navy skirt. Yes, we can do skirts here. Harvey with the khaki shorts and a white polo. Zoe with navy shorts and a white polo. Joaquin with the navy on navy pants and polo in the tan khaki and the navy polo. Here we have Sophia with the skinny jean navy. It's not jean, it's actually khaki material. You also notice that she is rocking the Mansfeld.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Flagg, and I am the STEM Magnet Coordinator here at Mansfeld. Because of course Mansfeld is a STEM magnet school, and so this is the STEM rotation. This is your first of a whole bunch of info sessions that you're going to get here today during new student orientation. So we're really happy that you're here, and we hope that this gives everyone just a little taste of what our campus is like and some of the things that we offer here at Mansfeld. So we are a magnet school, and a magnet school is a school that attracts kids from all over the city due to an innovative and unique curriculum. And so our innovative, unique curriculum is a STEM curriculum. And so what we're really trying to do is increase student interest and exposure to STEM fields and careers. We also really want to build the problem solving and critical thinking skills that students are going to need to be successful in high school and in college and in any career path they choose. And so in order to do that, we have 17 STEM practices that we embed in everything that we do at Mansfeld. So do we have any Jumpstart kids in here? Okay, so we've got a few, I see. And so you all may have noticed on your iPads that the STEM practices popped up as the home screen a couple days ago. Did anybody see that? Yeah, you did? Okay, great. So our STEM practices are really skills that support students in higher order thinking, like analysis and evaluation. And they're really applicable in all classes and all lessons. So we have found that by integrating these STEM practices into everything we do, we really foster communication and collaboration among our students. And that's resulted in increased student achievement pretty dramatically over the last many years, which is something we're especially proud of here at Mansfeld. And so, for example, one of our STEM practices is making observations and asking questions. Another STEM practice that we have is attending to precision. And when I think of attending to precision, I really think of like paying attention to detail, like really focusing in on what's going on.
I am a 6th grade language arts teacher, and I've been here since 1998. Ooh, long time, I know. And I'm also been involved with our Boost program, which is our after-school program, with clubs and classes for students. Okay, some past offerings that we've had robotics, we've had drama club, we've had debate club, we always have homework help, we've had diversity club, we've had science olympiad, so a lot of different things. And I say past offerings because a lot of the things that we do are dependent on our teachers, you know, what teachers want to be able to teach, to be able to facilitate. And with the dance club, that was actually driven by students. Students come to me and they go, we really want a dance club. And I said, that's great. Let's find a teacher and let's do this. And so we had our dance club, not last year, but the year before, because of student interest. So it's not just what we want, but also the students. Okay, our sessions run from 4 to 5 p.m. on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. We don't do it on Wednesday because of the early out, but we do it on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And it runs from 4 to 5 p.m. We do ask that the parents pick up their students if they're picking them up at 5:15. But we also have an activity bus available. And that's the same bus the students would be taking if they were involved in sports. So it might not go to their regular bus stop, but it would go to their neighborhood. Okay. And the buses usually run from 5:15 till 5:30 for pickup. So it's really available for us after school. Our sessions begin in September. And the reason for that is I need to find out what teachers are going to be wanting to teach what. They have to do a proposal, it's voted on by our leadership, and then we get things set, usually after Labor Day, we start our sessions. The materials will be on our website, and I'm hoping that we'll also have a mass email that can go out. Okay? There's a registration form, and then you'll have a menu. Okay? Students, a menu of classes to take, but thank you, because that's a good clarifying comment. So your student could take dance club on one day and homework help on another day, maybe just 2 days a week. They could come to all 4 days. They could come to just 3 days. It's really up to what you and your student want to do. Okay? The only caveat to that, the only thing that I would need to know is when your student's going to be here. Because I really do keep track of attendance. If your student's supposed to be here and they're not here, I'm going to need to know why. So if there's a change or you want to add a class or drop a class, just make sure that you let the coordinator know.
The big talk of today and what we're doing today is talking about our positive behavior intervention systems. And one of the big things at Mansfeld, one of the things I loved about coming to work here, it is positive. What we try to do here is positive. It's about making you guys better. My job is to not get you in trouble. My job is to keep you out of trouble, to keep you out of the principal's office, to keep you out of the assistant principal's office, to get you ready to go to Tucson High, to get you ready to go to UHS. Because I was your age once. Oh, but that's... You come and tell me there's a problem, I'm not going, well, Susie told... No. Hey, look, I understand you're having a problem, but what can I do to help your problem so you don't have to come see me? And we're like that here. Because the reason I say that to you guys and the reason why I'm talking about it, I don't know how many 8th graders a day, I would say sometimes as many as 10, sometimes 20. Mr. Lent, I just noticed this was going on the bus. Hey, Mr. Lent, these 6th graders kind of rough it out there. I think they're picking on the kid. I said something to them, but I wanted you to know about it. If I asked our 8th graders, all right, what are you supposed to do there that have been here 3 years? This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I would do. And a big part of our positive behavior system is we have bulldoggers, which we turn into live school points in the computer. I think we had about 20 Under Armour footballs, 20 great basketballs, a bunch of volleyballs, great soccer balls, the opportunity to get gift cards to Cane's, places like that for the positive behavior, the rewards. You can get them from a custodian. Everybody's involved, from myself as a dean to the principal to all of our staff. Same way with talking. You'd be surprised how many times a day custodians say, Mr. Lynn, I kind of noticed, man, I think they're picking on this kid. Great, thanks, let's address it, let's do it. Or, I see it all the time with our 8th grade kids. Hey, Ochur, who's one of our custodians, can I help you clean up or do something like that for some bulldoggers? And a lot of this stuff, by the time we're 8th graders, it becomes so involved. I always like to talk, too, about alumni, because one of the things we talked about I was just at a meeting with some of the people from the district, and they talked about like what really, what was important for you, or what do you think would be important here in Mansfeld. And one of the things I talked about, Coach Barnes with the women's basketball team at the U of A said, leaving a legacy. Well, we have a legacy here at Mansfeld with a lot of the people that went to the school here. Okay? I love this one. Who here listens to music, right? Everybody answers that question. All right. Take Me Home, Country Roads. John Denver is a graduate of Mansfeld Middle School. Did pretty well in all subjects, the best in music, of course. His father was stationed at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Frank Borman, astronaut, walked on the moon. Mansfeld Middle School. But all things have in common there. It's just said we're here to help each other and to do it. But I also think for a lot of you guys coming as the sixth graders, when I say positive, that's how we want to approach it. We want to treat you like a young adult until you don't want to be treated like that. You have a choice in that. Because one of the cool things is as you come to us as sixth graders and we do this, by the time you're eighth graders, some of the neat things we do is we take a trip to Washington, D.C. We raise money for it. We help anybody that wants to go, or a trip to Disneyland. We try to do that. We try to instill in that everybody as you buy into what we're doing here and you buy into what we're doing here. When we say like Bulldog Nation, yeah, we really believe it as a family. And then that behaviors grow. We don't have a lot of issues with these trips or with people to do it. No, not everything's perfect. It's like a family. You're always going to have people to argue or do that. But we've been able to build and do some things here. I'll give you an example. Say you've been helping me pick up some trash during the week. You helped me. You found somebody's house key on a bus that gave it to me, and I was able to help them out. Here's 10 Bulldoggers. That's a huge one. Or I had a kid last year, 2 years ago, with pre-pandemic, came up to me, had a wallet, and the wallet had $40 in it in tens. Mr. Len, I found this. Now, how many times do you think that happens where somebody does that? Because I can tell you on the street growing up in New Jersey, that didn't happen all the time. Somebody would have given it back to you. You've been lucky if there was like a pizza card in there. Kid did that and it just amazed me. And it made me think too of what we're doing here and how it works. So what he wanted to do with it, he got his money and he says, hey, Mr. Len, I want to take you across the street. When he got his Bulldogs. See, and he get the money, when I said, is the parent-teacher organization gave him $20 to spend with me. And then what we do is we go over to the U of A Student Union, over to the food court. And you can take an administrator or a teacher over there to eat. And it's something neat, but we do. But the same way of teaching you guys that we're asking you to buy into it, but it also, there's good things that come with that positive behavior responsibility. You're going to get more responsibility, more opportunities.
As you notice, probably if you've come to the front office down the main hallway, on the right-hand side, there's some billboards. We have some amazing volunteers that have come in and they've put those billboards up. And the thing I learned about Mansfeld is that there's a theme every year. And so as the incoming principal, I get to kind of choose what that theme is. And so I kind of brainstormed with some of the staff. And we said, well, we're coming back from a pandemic and we survived and we're going back to in-person school. And we're all about relationships. We're coming back and we really need to build relationships with students. Because one thing I know about people is that people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And so as a staff, we're really going to take that time to invest in our students. And so what's the theme that we can have some fun with? That is going to be the theme for this school year. And so we came up with the idea of Survivor, Mansfeld's Outback Edition. Be smart, be safe, belong. So you'll see some Australian-themed things around the school, being the Aussie, the token Australian here, and we'll have an opportunity to be able to do activities like Survivor-like activities, where we work together, get to know one another, to overcome challenges, and we'll not just survive, we'll thrive this year, and it'll be a really great year.
Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Lavario. I'm the vocal music teacher here at Mansfeld Middle School, but I'm also representing fine arts, and I'm going to tell you a little something about what we do here at Mansfeld. This is fine arts. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about what Ms. Davidson covers and what Ms. Bradford, I'm pointing, Ms. Davidson's my neighbor, Ms. Bradford's up in the main building. Her room is close to the tower upstairs. All right, so as far as arts, I'm going to tell you a little something about arts and extracurricular expectations. Most of the time, or many times I should say, people, parents, students figure that being involved in one of these arts means that you have to make a time commitment for after-school practices and so on and so on. That's something more expected in high school, But as far as here, in middle school, here at Mansfeld, we do everything pretty much inside the class. And the only extracurricular expectations we have are like going to band concerts or choral concerts, or maybe an art night. All right. If there's going to be any kind of after-school practice that we call, it would be something that you would know about ahead of time. Like we'd give you a couple weeks notice. We're going to have a practice on this day. And so that way we know what kids can actually make it. All right, but usually that's rare. Most of the time we do all our practices during the day for our classes. Now, that being said, when we do our practices and rehearsing during the day, all our classes are graded classes. So everything that we do results in either a daily or a weekly grade from your student based on their effort and what they do as far as the expectations in the classes. And like for mine, I have them in the light purple papers in the back of the wall there, or something like this here. And the students who do their best, they try their best, they're giving their best effort on what they're doing, are usually the students that we try to give a little bit more to. So if they're doing their best and they're struggling, but they're getting there, they most likely will still get an A in the class. So there's a lot of things that are involved in doing things with arts, and there's a lot of personal things that are working with the students, plus a lot of growth and physical things that are affecting what they can do. So we have to keep all that in mind. It can't be just, okay, you have to do this, 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 and this is what gives you that A. There's a little bit more involved in that. So we're all really cognizant of that type of thing, and we try to adjust things as much as we can to help students be their best when they do our classes. So let me start with visual arts. Ms. Bradford sent me a little blurb about what she covers in her class. But one thing I can say is that all her classes are semester classes. Her 6th and 7th grade classes are very similar in the things that they do. 7th grade, if by chance the student has had class with art in 6th grade and they're in it again in 7th grade, the 7th grade is a little bit more ongoing. There are some things that they pick up where they left off, and she works with a few more things to help them keep going with what they've learned. And of course with everybody else, if they've never taken art before, but they take it in 7th grade, but they did it in 6th grade, then they would be doing very similar stuff that some of the 6th graders are doing. But people are like at different levels in their classes. But as far as 8th grade, when they get there, there are some expectations that are different. She presents more challenges to them. There's a little bit more freedom for expression for the things they're doing, because the 8th grade mentality is a little bit different than 6th and 7th grade. 6th and 7th grade is a little crazy. Things are kind of a little, out of sorts, because they're growing. These are adolescents, and they have some struggles as they're going through. But as 8th grade, things are starting to settle down. And plus, the mentality for an 8th grader is like, yeah, I'm going to high school now. All right, I'm going to go after this. So many times it's like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to leave here? Am I going to leave on a good note? Am I going to finish strong? So she focuses on that. So their 8th grade projects are a little bit more challenging for them and meaningful too. What they do is they explore art from diverse cultures and time periods. They create their own works of art as they develop skills with a variety of 2- and 3-dimensional media, with an emphasis on supporting each student's unique point of view. All right, so many times a lot of the students have the same thing, the same assignment, and their finished product may not look at all like their neighbors. But in terms of, okay, this is supposed to be that, it's not so much that this is supposed to be that, but this is what this person felt, how they saw that. All right, and it's a different way of looking at the art that people do. Likewise, when you sing, you listen to somebody sing and somebody sing the same song, they're going to be sounding different, even though the song is still the same. Everybody has their own way of doing it. So that's where it becomes a more of a personal thing, and we have to kind of look out for those things as they're developing. All right, for band and orchestra, for my neighbor, Ms. Davidson, 6th grade band happens at 4th period of the day. And 6th grade orchestra happens at 6th period of the day. I have classes at the same time as she does, so I get to hear, it's not too loud, but I can hear through the wall some of the things that they're doing, and I can hear the progress throughout the semester, and the 6th grades do good things. I hear how they're progressing, and there's some good stuff going on inside there on both classes, both the orchestra and the band class. The band and orchestra classes are year-long classes, so once they're in for the long haul throughout the entire school year. And it may seem like, oh my gosh, it's such a long time, but they have so much stuff that they're doing, they like it. I think they do. I've never seen a student leave out there that without a lot of energy and stuff. They really like the class, so they stick with it. It's a rare occasion when there are students who are not in it. They leave after the semester. And then after they leave from the year, the advanced group is still a big group. So that means a lot of these 6th graders continue on to another class. So that's evidence to me that the program is working really well. Moving to vocal music, which is me, I do choir for 6th grade. I also do choir for 7th and 8th grade, which is the advanced choir. 6th grade, what my main focus is to get them to understand the respiratory system as well as possible. Because it's not the same as having an instrument out in front of you, an external thing that could make sound. This is a personal thing. Back to that again. When they make a sound, it comes from something inside. Now, how is that done? If they hear something and your brain computes it and it sends all this information here and you make a sound, how do you know it's exactly the same as what you heard? All right, what do you do? Or if you pick up a piece of music and you start reading it through, how do you know that it's right? What type of things are going on? And when you're doing it, it's you're the instrument. So I need to make sure that they understand how to care for this, how to work on this instrument, how to know it, what they're all about. So it takes a little bit of time. We work a lot on that to get them to understand what they're doing with their instrument, as well as how to read the music instructions that they have in front of them. It's a little bit of everything every single day. Yes, we do a lot of singing, but not necessarily songs, sometimes exercises, sometimes little blurbs to show, okay, this little bump here, this little thing there, to understand that. Exploratory music, I'll just do it real quick, is open for any student. It doesn't matter if they're experienced in any kind of music at all. It's not necessarily a music class, but it's very similar to visual arts. We explore different styles of arts throughout history. We dance, theater, drama, whatever. And I bring people in to demonstrate. We learn the basics of reading music, but they also learn a little bit more about the history, like what goes on in history when this song was done. Not just historically, musically, but historically, period. What's happening during this time? So there's a lot of stuff that is covered in exploratory music, so the kids get to understand a little bit more about what these arts are all about. As 6th graders, they may want to make a jump from that into being in one of these other groups here, so you never know.
Mansfeld has 9 sports that we do during the school year. They are kind of broken up by quarter for the most part. So the first sports that we start out with is boys and girls cross country, boys basketball, and girls volleyball. Cross country is a little different because cross country, actually they practice in the morning, and most of their meets are Saturday mornings, okay? Boys and girls volleyball and basketball happen after school. Practice will be after school, games are after school. We will never ever have anything on Wednesdays because Wednesdays are always the teacher days. But other than that, you have the seasons for the whole quarter. Okay. After first quarter, then they flip-flop. So we have boys volleyball and girls basketball. And then after Christmas, boys and girls soccer. And then usually after spring break, we have boys and girls track. Okay. Track and cross country are the 2 sports that you do not have to try out for. All of the other sports, unfortunately, just budget reasons, the schools only have 1 team, and because we're a school the size we are, we do have tryouts for the teams that we have. But there have never been teams here that don't have all the grades as a part of their teams unless no one's really interested, just because that's how we help build the programs here. There are 2 things that your child needs to try out in order to even step on the court or to step on the field. The first one, the most important one, is the physical form. Okay? This is what they need to be seen by a doctor. This is not a wellness check. It's actually a sports physical. It doesn't have to be on this form, but there are 2 things that we look for to make sure they're cleared. The first one is the date. I believe it is after March 1st is the date that they are good. And that somewhere on there it either says cleared without restriction, cleared for sports. If those are on there, then the physical will be good for the year. Okay? Once they get 1, it is good for the entire school year. They don't have to keep doing them. The second form is the emergency card and the parent permission form. Okay? These the coaches need, so these are different from the ones that you turn into the front office because the coach has to carry them with them the entire time. Okay? But this one is simple. This one just you fill out. Those are the 2 things they need to try out. You can either, if you have the physicals, you can turn them into the front office. Your child can hold on to them and give them to the coach. Or I wrote my email up here. I'm the one that logs them in a document and makes sure they're cleared and good to go. So if you have it and you want to email it, you can do that as well. Okay. If they do make the team, there is a $30 participation fee. They play about 7 to 8 games in the regular season. And then they go to playoffs, which is kind of the most exciting part for them because they either get to go play in the high school gyms or compete on the high school field or the high school track. Well, track, sometimes they get to do that all season.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that it has helped prepare you for coming on campus here at Mansfeld. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our phone number is 225-1800. You can always email us at mansfeld@TUSD1.org, or at the link below, you'll be able to see our website and keep up to date with any information we have coming out to you from Bulldog Nation. All right, it's great to be a Bulldog, and our quest is always to be the best.